Y'all, I just had this killer intro and I hadn't hit the button. But anyway, welcome to Hashtag Spill the Beans. This is a once weekly chat where we talk about everything under the sun, from activism to music to teaching to branding to marketing to social media in general to being human. And as quiet as it's kept, we talk a lot about mindset. Okay, there it is. Yeah, and liberation. I hate this thing. I don't know why it does it. If you've never seen me before, I am Tara Priolo. I am your resident white-facing, biracial, multi-passionate musician who makes a lot of mistakes, sometimes in the intro of Spill the Beans, but we love it that way. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. Okay? Today we're going to talk about like a combination of things, which is like keeping on going on socials, and like back to the over it on socials discussion. But it's going to be a short one because it's late. It is so late and the hair is just doing something. So I do want to do events today. I do want to do a but first. So we are changing some things over at Love in Action, and a couple of us that are leading in the group are going to be taking over some daily boosts so that it's not all one person and that we're spreading the love and sharing platforms. So you're going to want to be subscribed to my YouTube channel because I am going to start going live over there twice a week, Saturdays and Wednesdays. And also, I do go live with a lot of snacks to talk about football. And then eventually we'll be talking about the Olympics as well. So you're going to want to be all in the know about Love in Action. You can join us on Halo. You can join us in the Super Chats. All of that information is at lovedandlovable.org, which I will link below. Also, Young Artist Scholarship applications are done, which means that I get to start bugging y'all professional musicians to come audition for Thursday Musical. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty. I think that's all the announcement. So I kind of went back and reviewed like the stuff that I said about being over it on the internet. And there's a lot of stuff that I obviously stand 10 toes down on everything that I said. I think that one thing that helps us keep going, I think there's a lot of things that help us keep going, but I'm going to prop up my Joys the Revolution Masterclass one more time, y'all. You can get it for free $99 by just filling out the Google form. I will send you the replay, and there's other masterclasses on that list as well. It's under the week of masterclasses. Please don't be scared to do that. But I also think that keeping on going and not being over it on social media, and I said this somewhere, like, if your idea or if your comfort zone is to be disconnected, then maybe social media is not the right place for you. But if you want to keep on going, something that is super important in that is something that Lotta Snack said on a daily boost, which is connection. The easiest ways to create connection is by sharing the things that you believe in, or sharing the things that are fun to you, or sharing the things that you just bought. Listen, for a long time on Instagram, and I've fallen away from it lately, but for a really long time on Instagram, some of you know I have a broadcast channel for makeup and skincare, right? Now I talk makeup and skincare with Sunflower and Starlight over in one of the Love in Action Super Chats. But for a long time, I was sharing pictures of my face literally every day. Before that, I was sharing my coffee cup every single day. Prior to that, I was sharing my to-do list every single day. And so it's like, it doesn't have to be a big thing like ceasefire now, which we should all be calling for, but it doesn't have to be that deep. You can create connection even on surface level things, and that will help keep you going and find your joy and your overflow in order to keep talking about the things that you perceive to be important. But finding a connection that's deeper than parasocial, I think, is really important on social. And I think that creating connection then creates community. And when you have community on social media or in person or whatever, then you are able to actually talk about the things that are important to you and matter to you. And that keeps you engaged. It keeps you from burnout. It keeps you from being guilty for not having burnout, right? Like, if you're not in community with people that you can talk about this stuff with, you need to find a community. And if you're having trouble finding a community because pages on social media are so, maybe inundated with this, with the genocide of Palestinians or Congo or Sudan, et cetera, and that's, or politics, right? Because it's an election year. We know people are leaving social media because it's an election year and because of the genocides. And if that is your experience on social media and you don't have a community to talk to about it, then that community swear I was trying to keep this one short. But if you don't have a community that's talking about those things and uplifting you and allowing you to take a breath, or allowing you to talk about other things. I'm not saying that your community has to be strictly talking about these world events or these hard things or the election year or the politics or blah, 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 blah. I love those conversations. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am your person. You want to have those conversations? Come join my communities, okay? If you want other things, you can still join my community. I have lots of different communities and lots of different chats that I talk in. But anyway, you can build a community by simply sharing what you already love, right? And build up around that so that you can act like your community acts like a choir. When you need a breath, they sing for you, right? They sing for you. And that's the whole point, right? You cannot do this alone. And I think one of the prevailing things in both real life since the pandemic and on social media is loneliness. So because of the loneliness epidemic that exists both in person and in parasocial relationships and online, which I think is the problem, right? It's one of the prevailing issues online, is that everyone is lonely and not finding connection. There's some disconnect, right? And part of it is because we're in phone screens, right? But I've created several deep connections on social media. So I know that it is possible. And we can start to fight that loneliness by crafting community. Now, that community doesn't always look like one leader and having people under them. Sometimes it just looks like a freaking a group conversation about things that you all like. Like, I'm in a music teacher chat, right? Like, it can be that simple to fight the experience of loneliness on social media. Do you remember? Yes, I do. I remember. What is after and what is beyond, and what can we do now to help increase connection and use social media in a different way? To enable people to keep going, to enable people to keep talking about this, to enable people to have a longer attention span that it takes to tackle and change the world. To have conversations about Black Lives Mattering. To have conversations about the Black experience being intersectional with the Palestinian experience, to have conversations about all of intersectionality, to have broader conversations on Black History Month, to have broader conversations during Women's History Month, to have broader conversations during Pride Month and beyond, to have broader conversations about book bans and trans laws, right? And anti-trans laws, right? What is beyond? What is after? These are questions that I am obsessed with and build communities around. If you stuck with me this far, y'all the real MVPs, remember, I have lots of offers you can join. I have lots of spaces where I talk about creative liberation, and that means the liberation of creatives, right? In your mind, in the world, how to talk about the hard ish. I have so much stuff on that. I have the ability to release the entanglements that you have placed on your voice, whatever media that is, okay? I have communities. I have deep communities where we love on each other daily. And we talk about love and joy and freedom and liberation all the time. I encourage you to join those. Okay? That's all for Spill the Beans. I love y'all hardcore. Continue to be anti-racist. Be safe. Do good work. Make good trouble. Lots of calls, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.